Okay, it's Tuesday, August 19, 9:52 a.m. Central Time. I'm just going to call it a day because I've had three wins in a row. Also feeling a bit of FOMO, and I'll kind of walk through why. And so I'm trying to kind of not push too much. I had some good trades, just going to kind of call it. Um, I may put some alerts back to levels, but I think that kind of bearish thesis with the dark pools and everything I've been talking about is kind of playing out, and it's already hit the levels where I was thinking, and so now it's kind of like a reset on my trading plan. And so I'm just going to kind of call it a day and see how today kind of finishes out and reassess for tomorrow. But if you remember, I've been kind of talking about these dark levels that were printed here late last week and Friday on the Qs, and so I marked that here as like 3.1 billion. Earlier in the week, last week, we had some dark pull levels here, and then price pushed up. And then yesterday, we had some dark pull levels here, where you can kind of see, which is 5772, which is the 23793 on the NQ. And so now we've rolled over back to this dark pool level. We've broken the lows of Monday, Tuesday last week. And so, that was kind of my whole thesis of where I thought price could go, kind of in this little pocket. And so now I just want to see price kind of reset. And I'm also feeling a bit of FOMO. So I'm just gonna stop for the day. Um, but just kind of looking at the hourly here, we are kind of falling over. Nice, push down. And I think this morning I was thinking this dark pool level would act as a magnet, and it kind of did in that it repelled price, which is interesting. So it pushed it down to this other dark pool level. If we're going lower, obvious next longer term kind of level would be here, maybe here, but we'll see. And so we'll just see what tomorrow brings on that. But as far as my trading day, so I made it a point not to come to the chart right away because I saw this dark pool level printed yesterday, and I said, okay, I want to see how price reacts to that. We gapped down. I didn't see all this, and so like we pushed down like 100 points. Had I seen it, maybe I would have joined short. I'm not really sure. I even marked this level here as well as something to watch, and we broke below that. Also broke below the pre-market low. I think here would have been a good short. That probably what I would have done had I had seen this, but I wasn't here for it. And so when I got to the charts, it was about here. I think we were at the key level, and I was wondering, should I try to go long or kind of look for the short again? And so we pushed back up, retested this pre-market low, and then next candle decided, okay, short. Obvious stop was above that. This ended up playing nicely, sweeping to about here is where I got out. And so that was a nice trade. I was pretty happy about that. And then I wanted price to. I watched the second candle to see if we'd push up green. We closed red. So next candle push up, I entered short. I wanted something fast down to this level or even this dark pool level. Obviously I didn't get there, so I got out with my a small win. And then I decided to kind of walk away and kind of eat breakfast and do all that stuff. And then I had to go drop people off. Like I have a side, not a side business, but a business that I have to go make sure to open every day. And so I wasn't here for this, but like this was amazing because we pushed back up, we retest this pre-market low, didn't get there, we started rejecting it. You see our little HMA clouds cross to red. I would have gone short here for sure. Um, Going back up, and then we break down. I probably would have taken out here on the lows again. Would have been a super trade. Pushing back up, broke the low of this. Would have shorted again, most likely down to this level. But then I got back to the charts about around here, probably around here, and so I was like, okay, well, missed that down trade. So I was feeling all kinds of FOMO. Um, and then I saw here that we broke below this dark pool level, right? And I was like, okay, well, we're breaking below. Maybe we'll have a nice little flush. That also represented the low of day last Monday and Tuesday. And so got in and on a push up, had a nice flush, had a nice flush again. I think I took it out about 65, I think. Yeah, 65, somewhere around here. And then from there, I was like, well, I don't know if we're going to actually push lower. It feels kind of a stretch right now to push a little bit lower, given prices more bullish on the long term. And so We pushed back up, had a nice another little flush there, so missed that, but it wasn't the best. And then so now we're kind of pushing back up. Maybe we turn green and kind of push back up, back to this level, back to the dark pool level. I'm not sure. But for me, my thesis for the beginning of the week was looking at the dark pool levels here on the daily that I found last week, and then just trying to see if we trade below down to here. We did that, and so I just need to reset and see how today finishes out. See what data looks like, and then just see if we're in for potential reversal back up, or if we're going to continue back down for more of a pullback type of thing. So all my trade targets played out, so I don't really have anything to look forward to. I mean, I could try to write it down more, but try not to be greedy. If it goes lower, wonderful. We'll see what tomorrow brings. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So just going to take the three green trades in a row, take a good day, and then just reset for tomorrow as today shakes out. Especially knowing that we're going to have some news Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Like maybe we're pushing down so we can push back up, just so there's more range for longs to make money. Who knows? Um, but yeah, definitely feeling a little bit of FOMO. Look at this as we break lows here, but can't chase. It is what it is. All right. Well, I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank you.